The FCC is scheduled to rule Thursday on whether to repeal net neutrality, the Obama-era rule requiring internet service providers to treat all internet data equally and not charge differently based on user, content, website or similar variables. The decision could transform how millions of Americans get their online information and how much they pay for it. The vote has pitted telecom giants like AT&T and Comcast against powerful tech companies like Facebook and Google, as well as consumer and internet activists. Spearheading the repeal effort are President Donald Trump and Ajit, his appointee to head the FCC, who argue repeal will spur internet growth and innovation and is essential to a free internet. It's a case that AT&T has made for more than a decade. Poll: most Americans oppose FCC's net neutrality repeal. Why should they be allowed to use my pipes? Ed Whitaker, the company's former chairman and CEO, argued in 2005. The internet can't be free in that sense, because we and the cable companies have made an investment, and for Google or Yahoo or Vonage or anybody to expect to use these pipes free is nuts. Suppose we lose net neutrality. AT&T could then decide to raise the price on internet telephony like Skype, Vardy said. That means that if Moshe Vardy, a Rice professor, wants to launch a service called Vardype, which would compete with Skype, his small company cannot afford the high price demanded by AT&T. So Vardype has to pass the cost to its customers, even if Vardype were much better than Skype. He said the inability to draw enough paying customers would force it out of business. Queued up, net neutrality keeps the web from running like a TSA line. If the customer wants a bigger pipe, the customer should have to pay more for it, Vardy said. What happens inside that pipe on the internet highway, that is the business of the customer. As of this summer, a majority of U.S. American consumers appeared to agree. In a national survey of more than 1,000 Americans conducted by Consumer Reports last July, 57% of respondents backed net neutrality. 16% opposed the rule, and about a quarter had no opinion. A larger majority, 67%, said the telecoms shouldn't be allowed to modify or edit the content that consumers try to access on the internet. Meanwhile, economist Hal Singer, an opponent of the original net neutrality rule, recently warned that simply repealing and depending on courts to protect consumers and competition may not work as intended. Designed to protect consumers and competition, Singer wrote, the legal system is also expensive and slow. Below, some background on how net neutrality works. What exactly is net neutrality? The regulation is an extension of the long-standing concept of a common carrier, originally used to describe the role of telephone systems. Opinion: losing net neutrality will cost consumers under net neutrality. The large internet providers are prevented from requiring customers to pay to get their content delivered more quickly than their rivals, or for throttling other services and websites by block customer access to sites like YouTube or online newspapers. FCC Chairman Pai's proposal would allow telecom companies to sell customers a basic internet plan that might include only limited access to Google and email. For Facebook and Twitter, for example, a customer may need to pay for a more expensive plan. The ISPs say the common carrier concept, which originally assigned the companies to the same status as utilities, is an outmoded and overly restrictive concept for a modern technology like the internet. Down this superhighway before the big telecoms have violated net neutrality in the past. In 2007, Comcast was caught secretly throttling or slowing uploads from peer-to-peer file sharing (P2P) applications. The company continued blocking these applications, such as BitTorrent, until the FCC ordered them to stop. AT&T was caught limiting access to FaceTime, so only users who paid for its new shared data plans could access the application. And in July 2017, Verizon Wireless was accused of throttling after users noticed that videos played on Netflix and YouTube were slower than usual. Verizon said it was conducting network testing and that net neutrality rules permit reasonable network management practices. Will it stay or will it go? Regardless of how Thursday's vote goes, supporters and detractors of net neutrality generally agree on one thing: any decision by FCC Commissioner Pai this week is not likely to be the final word. Lawsuits are expected to challenge the FCC's actions, and political winds could shift again. This story originally appeared at Houston Public Media. Get more tasty tech news at TechBroker. And follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe to the Chronicle for regular servings of Here's the Beef and to be able to comment. Access a weekend preview of everything happening in Houston Get Week.